The 4A state basketball playoffs are down to the Final Four. And for the Holly Springs Golden Hawks and Richmond Raiders, the dream of winning a first state title is coming into sharper focus. For one team, that dream will reach that elusive title game next Saturday at NC State. For the other, the dream ends. West Shore Home High School Hoops presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. It's the 4A East Regional Final, 5th seed Holly Springs, number 2 Richmond. Hi once again, everybody, and welcome to Lee County High School. Patrick Kiedis and Jay Sohnhalter, and what an atmosphere. Standing room only for the 4A Regional Final. Neither one of these teams has ever won a state title. They're 2 games away.
And this is a huge game, and you can feel it here. The best atmosphere we've seen all season, except for next week. That'll be bigger at Reynolds Coliseum, and that's where the winner of this ball game will go. For Richmond County, Patrick, this is an athletic group that wants to turn this ball game into a track meet. And for Holly Springs, this is the best three-point shooting team I've seen at the high school level.
All right, big-name players on both sides. Big-name coaches will be here as well.
Yeah, and for Holly Springs, it starts with Colin Cool. He's committed to Georgia Southern. He can finish in the paint with his right and his left hand. He'll step outside, shoot the 3 ball. So versatile, a catalyst for the offense. And then Micah Jones, their senior point guard. He has elite speed. He'll get to the rim anytime he wants. He can step out NBA range and do everything in between. He's going to get his teammates involved today. Over for Richmond County, Paul McNeil, one of the top juniors in the country. He's committed to NC State. Super athletic. He'll finish at the rim. Mid-range jumper. Go beyond the 3-point line as well. He's a lockdown defender over on the defensive side. And then Julian Cole, the sharpshooter from the outside. He averages 18 points per game. He's a college prospect as well.
All right, Holly Springs 26-5. They won their last 7. Richmond's won 20 games in a row. Let's talk about keys for victory for both sides, Jay.
Well, Holly Springs is so unselfish. They do such a good job taking good shots. They want to make sure they continue to play for their teammates and defensive activity. Communication, pressing, getting turnovers is going to be so important today. For Richmond, crashing the boards. They want to win the rebounding battle and then creating turnovers. This is such a good ball handling team for Holly Springs, but they want to speed them up today.
A better atmosphere across the state on this regional final day you will not find anywhere but here. Lee County High School neutral site host Holly Springs and Richmond. One of these teams plays for a state title next week. Tip-off next. A phenomenal atmosphere for a high school regional final. We are inside Lee County High School. Holly Springs and Richmond vie for the East Regional Championship and a spot to play for the state title next Saturday at NC State. Standing room only, and that's not all, because the 4A women's regional game was played and finished about an hour ago. They've been trying to turn over the gymnasium. Didn't work out perfectly. There are hundreds of more fans lined up outside the gymnasium doors. They will be allowed in as seats open up. And Holly Springs and Richmond, you can see on that shot right there, very few seats are available at this stage as they play now for a spot in the state championship game next week.
Or other intimidating actions directed at anyone in this contest venue.
Holly Springs, a school that opened just 17 years ago. They won a state baseball title thanks to Carlos Rodon back in 2011, but they've never played for a basketball championship. Meanwhile, Richmond, they've been to the state championship game 3 times, lost all 3 times. They have not played in a regional final, Jay, in 22 years. And Donald Pettigrew, who leads this Raider squad, the last time they played for a state title, he was on that team.
Yeah, back-to-back years, 96, 97. He played in the state championship ball game and coaching for his alma mater.
The magnitude of the moment is thicker than any of these players have ever experienced in their lives. And they're a game away from playing for the state championship. Holly Springs in the purple and gold. They will be the visiting team, and you can see on the right half of your screen, it is loaded with Golden Hawks fans. Meanwhile, the Richmond Raiders, they will be the home squad. On the left side of your screen, it is loaded with Raiders fans. Again, they have not been on the precipice of a state title game in more than 2 decades. And let's take a look at the starting lineup. Brought to you by West Shore Home. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. And there is the starting 5 for the 26-5 Golden Hawks.
Now, this is a versatile lineup. Everybody can handle the ball. They can all shoot the three-point shot. And Holly Springs spreads the floor to give themselves open driving lanes. McCool, Jones, Kakovic, Wills, and Crotty. This is a veteran group that's played a lot of basketball together.
And the front line, 6'5", 6'6", 6'8" for Holly Springs. Now the West Shore Home starting lineup for the Richmond Raiders, 27-2, undefeated through the Sand Hills Conference at 14-0. They're the number 2 seed.
They've destroyed their opponents. And Paul McNeil and Julian Cole, those are the 2 guys that everybody knows about coming to this ball game with their scoring. But it's the defense that's going to be important today. Closing out on the perimeter, and Baldwin, Chavis, Hamilton, those 3 are really good defenders, very tough and physical.
In the Richmond Regional semifinal win over Jordan a couple of days ago, McNeil scored 35 points, made 5 threes. And Julian Cole, a really interesting story, number 24 for Richmond. It's his first year in the program. Transferred in from Pinecrest, which is a school within the same conference. And what has he become but an enormous supplemental player for Richmond this year?
1-2 scoring punch, and Cole and McNeil combined for 41 points per game. So that's going to be Holly Springs' number 1 goal, is to slow those 2 down.
I mean, you can taste the atmosphere through your screen right now. We haven't even seen a bucket yet, and this place is ready to explode, as fans are still finding inches of space on the bleachers here at Lee County to sardine and shoehorn themselves in. There's LJ Hepp, 5th-year head coach for Holly Springs. They've combined to win 50 games over the last 2 years. Interestingly, last year, each of these teams was knocked out in the postseason by the same team. Holly Springs got bounced in the 2nd round by Cleveland, and then Richmond fell in the 4th round also to Cleveland, as we get a look at Donald Pettigrew. The strategy, the game planning, it's all done. Now it's all about execution for Richmond and Holly Springs. Soak it in. And here we go. Richmond in the white, Holly Springs in the dark uniforms, and the winner plays for the 4A state title a week from today. And the tip to the Golden Hawks of Holly Springs. 26-5 Holly Springs, regular season champ out of the SWAC. Colin Cool, number 1, is their top target. This will be Will James missing out of the corner. And here come the Raiders up the floor, and they throw it away. Turnover on the first possession for Richmond.
Well, it's so important for each team to get off to a good start in this ball game, control your nerves, and make the opponent play from behind.
Tempo critical for Holly Springs to control here today. There's a near strip on the sideline by Julian Cole.
In Richmond, they're going to play man-to-man defense. Get in your face, extend that pressure. Mix in a little bit of press, but in the half-court offense, it's going to be really important for Holly Springs to keep their spacing and make sure they make quick, decisive passes.
As important as Colin Cool will be for Holly Springs today, so much of the burden will fall on the shoulders of their point guard, Michael Jones, number 3. Here he is with the basketball. Going against Jaden Hamilton. Looks to the inside, Cool, and it knocked away. A steal, and here comes Paul McNeil. Delivers to Jaden Hamilton, but the tip-in is there by the NC State commit, First two of the ball game belong to the Raiders.
And that's where they excel, out on the fast break. Good job picking up the tempo.
Too quick a feet for Jones. Turnover, Holly Springs. These fans are not going to sit in the student section for the next 2 hours. They've been waiting 22 years for this game in Richmond County. The jump pass deep to the inside. Baldwin makes it 4-0.
Baldwin's guarding Colin Poole on the defensive end. The double team came over to McNeil. Nice pass over to Baldwin as he streaked to the hoop.
And Jones on the strong side will take a screen from Poole. He rolls to the hole, but a double team kind of shadows Jones. Now they enter deep position. Poole shot blocked from behind by Zion Baldwin. Cole. And the Raiders look inspired out of the gates. Little floater, high arcing shot miss. Colin Poole the rebound. Micah Jones all the way to the hole, left it short.
Good defense from Jaden Hamilton.
This is a big part of Richmond's game, the perimeter jumper. That one left a little bit short. And now on the open floor, Will James had that one blocked into the corner and controlled by Richmond. Baldwin at it again. Here's McNeil. In and out. Offensive rebound and the reverse layup. That won't go from Chavis. And Holly Springs with a rebound as well as looked like it took a shot across the face.
And for Holly Springs, seeing how athletic Richmond is, use the shot fake. They're going to block shots. You got to get them up in the air, get them off balance.
And that was tipped out. The officials get together. And it will be Raider basketball. Strong start for Richmond. They pitch a shutout through the first almost 3 minutes of this regional final.
Look at the hustle and transition defense. Baldwin coming through there for the block. And right now, this pace up and down the court, each team trying to get fast break opportunities. Just a nice job getting back by the Raiders.
And that pass went right through the fingertips of the freshman Jada Hamilton, harassed on the sideline, then he turned it over. You can understand some nerves for everybody on the floor, but Jaden Hamilton, he's the only freshman on either team starting in this regional final.
Yeah, what an opportunity for him, and Donald Pettigrew trusting him. He's played a big part for his team this season. And guarding Micah Jones.
Jones, that's a nifty bounce pass. Poole was stripped, got it back, battling to the hole, and they're the first points of the game for Holly Springs.
Heck of a pass from Jones into the post with Poole, and double team, he was able to hold on to the ball.
4-2 lead for Richmond. Off glass, a little strong. Offensive rebound. Chavis kicked in the corner. And that three hit the side of the glass. And here come the Golden Hawks. Quickly down the floor. Wide open for three, Willis. Saved underneath. Excellent work by Chavis to keep the ball alive. And Richmond has it in the open floor with McNeil. Look at him knifing through Paul McNeil.
He's a special athlete. The Euro step there. Good job getting the ball all the way to the hoop, getting out on the run.
Big mismatch on the inside route for Poole, working against the freshman Hamilton. They can't get it inside to him, and a missed opportunity there for Holly Springs.
And they've got to reverse the ball and get the ball into Poole. They've got to feed the post.
This is Baldwin faking the three, driving on the baseline and scoring. For Baldwin, 4 points, couple of blocks already. Off to a tremendous start for the Raiders. A strip. Cole the other way. Attacking in the paint. Switches hands. Left it long. And into the sideline. Chavis again. Another terrific save. Second one we've seen from Dakota.
Look at the spacing for Richmond.
And that was dribbled off his instep. Goes right to one of his teammates. And out of bounds. Deflected out by Holly Springs. What a start. The atmosphere unparalleled. 3:21 left, opening quarter. Richmond on top of Holly Springs. The winner plays for the 4A state title. (8-2) lead for Richmond. A little more than halfway through the opening quarter. And Jay, you and I have been around college sports for a lot of years. The atmosphere we're feeling right now, Division I schools around the country, there are a lot of them that wouldn't hold a candle to what we're experiencing today.
They'd be jealous of what we have today, and this is a ball game. What a special experience for everybody involved and for these players.
All right, 8-2 lead. There's a look at the Holly Springs faithful who made the trip. Richmond in the home white uniforms with an early 6-point lead. And a lot of contributions in a lot of different ways for the Richmond Raiders. This is Julian Cole. Goes opposite to the sideline. That's a three, and that is missed by Baldwin. And here comes Holly Springs. And right now, getting into the half-court offense has been a bit of a challenge here for Holly Springs. Everything on the inside has been deflected or blocked away. Looking for a little more space here. Nice move to the baseline there by Micah Jones.
And great job there. Pick and roll, the double team comes over, and then passing it over to Jones, and he can finish with either hand.
Raiders by 4. Into the corner. This time a little floater on the baseline. That's no good. Rebound to Holly Springs. A strip right back to the Raiders and Julian Cole. And Cool bats it all the way out to midcourt, but right back to Richmond. Baseline spin. And a kick out, and Richmond will recycle again.
For the Raiders, there's not really a post presence on this team. Everybody's so versatile. Now they go to 2 players at the high post, but they're spreading the floor looking for driving lanes.
Javarian Wall, number 15, on the floor for the first time. He'll take it to the baseline, lose it on the way up, knocked out by Gakovic. And it's an 8-4 lead for Richmond. Sticks with the Raiders. We'll take a look at the NCDPS points to paint. Everything from Richmond in the paint so far.
They're getting the loose balls, the offensive boards.
North Carolina Department of Public Safety be a champion for victims. Deep jumper out of the corner, rims out by McNeil. And on the move, Micah Jones with the rebound, sprinting ahead, hard take, can't finish, he wanted a foul.
And the referees letting the players play through, a lot of contact, not calling it.
McNeil, the trailer, hits it. He has 7 in this opening half, probably opening quarter. First made 3 of the game. And that one brought to you by Talk It Out NC. Cool can't finish from inside the paint.
Well, the Raiders are really bringing that second and third man when the ball goes into the paint to Cool.
Another fake, and again, this kind of slipped out of the hands. And the shot attempt out of the corner, but again, Richmond right now winning all the 50-50 balls. Chavis, all the way through. Missed it though. Hopping up and down, smacking his hands. Can't believe he blew it. Richmond's lead still 7. Crotty steps left. Finds some space, left it short.
And Holly Springs still looking to get into a rhythm on the offensive end. Raiders clogging up the passing lanes.
Good defense on the inside by Holly Springs, batted in the air by Houston Wills. Turns into a turnover. And there's the first foul of the game. Micah Jones will head to the free throw line for Holly Springs.
And Jones so strong with his right and his left hand. He'll break you down. He finally gets that foul called. For the point guard, he is fearless, so physical, getting into the paint, and he draws the contact.
I'll tell you what, you can read on the faces of these Golden Hawks players, they're irritated right now because they can't run their sets offensively and secure enough defensive rebounds.
Richmond playing really good defense, and that ball goes to the post. They are sagging off, going in, trying to get the steal. For Holly Springs, continue to move the ball, quick passes, try to find a mismatch.
A couple of free throws rolled in by Jones from the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. Final minute opening quarter, 11-6 Richmond leading. And all 11 points between 2 Richmond players, McNeil and Baldwin. Julian Cole has yet to score, attacks 4 defenders, tip try won't go, and we'll get a foul on Holly Springs. Great effort on the second and third opportunities for the Raiders.
Second chance opportunities is really where they feasted so far in this ball game. Attacking the glass. This is a bigger group for Holly Springs, but the athleticism for the Raiders is really paying off.
Foul against Colin Cool, the star for the Golden Hawks. And the first point of the game for Julian Cole. And one more coming from the NC 529 free throw line as we get a look at Donald Pettigrew. 12-6 lead for Richmond. Opening round of the playoffs, Julian Cole made 10 3-point field goals. So he is a capable, explosive scorer for Richmond. Let's see if the Golden Hawks hold for the final shot here. Down by 6. It feels, though, like they're down by more. 10 seconds left. Crotty. There's the jump stop. Where does he go now? And he traveled. So even trying to spread the floor, get into the mid-post area, you saw 3 defenders just triangulate around Crotty. He had nowhere to go.
When they bring that double and triple team, you know, it's so tough because of how quick the Raiders are, but you've got to get that double team and then kick the ball out. Trying to find a mismatch.
Length of the floor, 4 seconds left. Clock started very late. This will count if it goes, and it does. A 3 just before the horn, and L.J. Hepp, the head coach for Holly Springs, screaming at the clock operator because the clock didn't start for a good 2 or 3 seconds. The 3-pointer, as a result, counts. And at the end of the opening quarter, it is a 9-point lead for the Richmond Raiders. Paul McNeil had 10. And welcome back to Lee County High School. Ready to begin the second quarter. There is a huge controversy right now on your screen. That's the head coach of Holly Springs, L.J. Hepp. And the 3-pointer that was made by McNeil just before the horn, we'll take a look. 4 seconds the inbound from the baseline. The clock was still at 4 seconds when McNeil got beyond midcourt. And you can see the head coach, L.J. Hepp, is already pleading. He didn't even see if the shot went in. And they did go to the monitor. The officials did talk with the clock operator. And after all that, they still counted the 3. And it's a 15-6 lead for Richmond.
And if you're Holly Springs, you've got to use that now to fire you up.
Julian Cole.
Yeah, missed
good feed to the inside. Baldwin misses another one, though, and the rebound of Holly Springs. They missed a couple of layups. But you're right. You need to use that as motivation because that 3-pointer should not have counted. There's a big 3 by Ryan Crotty.
One of the best 3-point shooters in the state. He's a D1 recruit, only a junior. The defense.
Diving for the loose ball. Crotty almost got to it.
And you can see
maybe he's the spark.
Yeah, playing with some fire.
We're watching L.J. Hepp on the sideline. I mean, he looks like a middle linebacker ready to attack a quarterback. 15-9, the Richmond lead. Here's McNeil. Challenge 3, all glass, rebound Holly Springs. And Micah Jones into the half court. Quick whistle out of the corner. This is going to go on Richmond. And that's going to be number 1 on McNeil.
Yeah, he went right on the baseline against McNeil. Those 2 guys, 2 top juniors. It's a fun matchup to watch. McNeil switching over to Wills.
Cool only had 2 points that opening quarter for Holly Springs. Does Crotty have this range? Okay. Back-to-back 3s by the junior Ryan Crotty. 15-12. And now a strip and a breakaway for Holly Springs. The layup is missed, but there's the put-in by Wills. 8 straight to begin the quarter for Holly Springs. They're within 1.
Well, and they're using that missed clock management as motivation. They came out here fired up in the second quarter.
And down the paint and rattled in by Paul McNeil. 17-14. Out of the sideline, there's a 3. That one by Wills, and just like that, Holly Springs has tied Richmond.
And this is the Holly Springs offense that we've seen all season long with the 3-point range.
And that went over the half-court line. Turnover by Richmond. And we get a timeout by the Raiders as well. For all the controversy at the end of the first quarter, Holly Springs has come from 9 down in less than 2 minutes of the second. Buckle up. And welcome to Lee County High School. I'm telling you what, space shuttle launches aren't as loud as it is inside this building. During that timeout, that was a war of lungs between Hawk fans and Raider fans. 17 all. Holly Springs trailed by 9 again after that highly controversial three-pointer made at the end of the opening quarter when the clock operator started the clock very late, which allowed McNeil's three-pointer to count. But Holly Springs has been inspired in the first couple of minutes of this second quarter. They can shoot for the lead here. Crotty's knocked down a couple of threes, gets the return pass. Deep, deep again, Crotty off the heel. And that is a shooter that Richmond is going to need to honor over the course of this one. Here's Baldwin sneaking in. Kick out, extra pass to the corner. Baseline move. And hitting McNeil out of the right corner. He is off to a 15-point start. Paul McNeil.
He's in the zone. He's automatic. Good job there, hiding on the baseline for the pass.
A big spin move through traffic for Colin Cool.
He can control the paint area. Holly Springs has to continue to give him looks in the post.
Julian Cole lost his balance. Basketball squirts to a teammate. Javion Drake on the baseline, rolls one in.
Richmond doing a really nice job with their spacing. When someone's driving in, everybody is going out to the three-point line with spacing.
Richmond by 3. Well, they're bottling up Cool on the inside, fronting the post. Still got his fingertips on that offensive rim, kept it alive for his teammate. And Will James, there was no whistle. A Hawk is down behind the play, and here comes Richmond. Into the corner, open look three, yes.
The referees letting the players play through a lot of contact.
And there's a late whistle after the shot was partially blocked. Micah Jones will shoot free throws for Holly Springs.
He's fearless. What a take from Jones. Not a lot of calls being made still. He flies in there to get contact, to get to the line.
25-19 Richmond at the Popeyes free throw line. There's the first one from Micah Jones.
He's a college prospect, has an offer from Navy. East Carolina interested as well, and more offers will be coming his way.
Jones makes it both. A reminder, stay tuned for the myspot.nc.gov High School Hoops halftime report, first half highlights, and more. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. Missed shot in the paint by Richmond, and Holly Springs can draw to within 2 or maybe 1 on this possession. Cool right now is on the bench for Holly Springs. They look to the inside, tip pass, pinballs off the Kakovic, and the turnover gives it head to Richmond. They nearly give it right back, and now they do. A steal by Crotty. Loops one to the opposite wing. Open jumper is knocked down by Kakovic. Excellent last-second decision by Crotty in midair. He wasn't sure where that pass was going to go.
Nice vision from Crotty, and Kakovic, 6'6", sophomore. What a great player he is as well. So much potential.
And that is Paul McNeil. Who else? On fire in this regional final. He has 18 points, knocks down a 3. Brought to you by Talk It Out NC.
Yeah, one of the top 20 juniors in the country. His head coach at NC State is here to watch him play.
Off the bounce, pull-up jumper, no good from Wills. And here come the Richmond Raiders. Chavis lost the handle, got it back in the corner. 5-point lead for the Raiders. Challenge runner, no. Holly Springs the rebound, some numbers here. The kick to Crotty. He's made a couple of threes, slices through and scores in transition through some contact.
What a tough play. Nice shot from Crotty with the sweep fake.
And there's McNeil again, a little long, easy rebound that time for Holly Springs.
And this ball game with each team being so aggressive on the defensive end, so important for shot fakes pass fakes, nice take from Jones.
But credit to the Golden Hawks. They've been down 9, they've been down 7, and they've had the responses so far. Back to within 1. A little more than 2 minutes left in the first half. What an entertaining first half this has been. Drake off the baseline. 4 off of the bench.
And right in his face.
Crotty never left the floor. Reloads. Misses a 3. And a joust for the rebound. Grabbed by Micah Jones. And there's a walk on Holly Springs. Take a look at the updated numbers, points to paint, sponsored by NCDPS 1010. North Carolina Department of Public Safety, be a champion for victims.
2 of the top coaches in the state. What an atmosphere for them and what seasons they've had. And you can tell this game's going to go towards the end, but each team's blown out most of their opponents this season. This will be a different feel here today.
Holly Springs knocked off top seed New Hanover on the road earlier this week, and they beat them handily by 13 points. Julian Cole. Just enough room on that baseline for Hamilton to sneak through. And back in his hands with a minute and a half to go in the first half. 18 points for McNeil. Offensive foul. That is number 2 on McNeil.
Great defense from Micah Jones, the point guard, going against McNeil. Watch this, moving his feet, staying low, taking the charge. He knew he had help from Colin Cool over to his right. Such a smart play. Get that second foul on McNeil.
I mean, McNeil's got 5 or 6 inches on Micah Jones right there. But a major foul, number 2 on the NC State commit, the 6'7" junior Paul McNeil. 3-point deficit facing Holly Springs. Cool back on the floor, number 1 for the Hawks. He's on the strong side, but a lot of containment there. That's a really tough pass out of the baseline. 3-pointer missed out of the corner by Holly Springs. Quick look, left corner 3, no. Rebound by McNeil. And they reset. This is Cole.
Good board from James. Now for Holly Springs, they're fronting Cool. Got to use ball reversal.
Micah Jones, very quick, stopped on a dime, dropped it in from 4 feet in the paint. Holly Springs within 1.
He has such a feel for the game. He knows when to push the tempo, get into the paint, mid-range jumper.
Here's McNeil. There's his jump stop. He lost it on the way, but it was knocked out of his hand. 25 seconds to play. A reminder, halftime show on the way. Brought to you by myspot.nc.gov. There is Kevin Keats, who will be Paul McNeil's head coach at NC State after one more high school season. And McNeil not disappointed, his future coach. 18 of Richmond's 30 in this first half. The ball in his hands again. Passes it off. Hamilton dishes to the corner. That one is long. Rebound Crotty. And Holly Springs can take the lead at halftime if they score here. The takeaway. And here's the drive by Drake with the clock winding down. Misses the left-handed layup. And we're at halftime. What a half. What an entertaining first half for Donald Pettigrew's Richmond Raiders and LJ Hepp's Holly Springs Golden Hawks. 16 minutes of heavyweight fighting, and the winner will head to Reynolds Coliseum and play for a state title next week. 1 point Richmond lead. The East Regional Final finds Richmond leading Holly Springs 30-29 at halftime. And now, a reminder, you're watching the myspot.nc.gov High School Hoops halftime report. And right now, time for the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to present the WRDC Sports High School Hoops Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week.
From Holly Springs High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Micah Jones. Micah is an all-conference and all-district basketball player and carries a 3.8 GPA. Micah is an honor roll student, a member of Random Acts of Kindness Club, and is an iCube Club member. Micah also volunteers at Sky Heart Home Care, Holly Springs High School Camp, and the Strong Center Camp. From Richmond High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Dakota Chavis. Dakota is two-time All-Conference, academic All-Conference, is an honor roll student, and carries a 4.1 GPA.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to be a sponsor of the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to these All-Stars and good luck on your eligibility for a $3,000 scholarship at the end of the season.
Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a wreck? Call the heavy hitters.
1 point lead for Richmond at halftime, 30-29 on Holly Springs. A reminder, you're watching the myspot.nc.gov High School Hoops Halftime Report. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, a safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everybody 6 months and older. We'll now kick it over to an interview with West Shore Home, one of our presenting partners, and Jacob Wirtz, sales manager.
I'm here with Jake Wirtz, the sales manager for West Shore Home. Welcome, Jake.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Why is it important for West Shore Home to partner with high school hoops?
Well, I think it goes in line with our core values of getting better every day. So throughout the season here, we're going to see all these student athletes, cheerleaders, even the parents themselves are going to be able to see their kids get better every day, and that goes in line with what West Shore is all about.
And why is it important for West Shore Home to be involved in the community?
A community is everything for us. In our eyes, you can't just be a company that goes out to people's houses and estimate projects. It's all about being embedded with the community. For instance, we just did a food drive to help the needy. We do other things throughout the year, Bass for the Braves, such things like that. It just kind of gives back to the community.
We really appreciate you being part of High School Hoops, and thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens this year.
It's going to be a great season, won't it?
I think so. Basketball is awesome.
Well, who's going to wear the 4A state crown? That Holly Springs fan hoping the Golden Hawks will. They trail second seed Richmond at halftime, 30-29. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter back with you with Lee County High School. What a great first half as we take a look at some highlights of the opening 16 minutes, Jay. This is a heavyweight fight in every definition possible.
The intensity was next level. From the opening tip, it was really Richmond in the first quarter using the fast break opportunities, their passing and their skill. And how about Paul McNeil, the NC State commit, was in the zone doing it all for his team, getting into the paint, finishing at will. He's 6'7", but he looks like a point guard the way he plays. But he really had an opening quarter to remember and got his teammates involved. But Holly Springs came back with ball movement, and they started knocking down the three-point shot.
Crowdy hit a couple of big threes again after a three-pointer disputed was added to the total for Richmond at the end of the first quarter when it looked like the clock should have run out. But they quickly erased the 9-point deficit and got right back in it.
Yeah, they used that as fuel. They came out. They were on fire. Their defense really turned up. They created turnovers, and they got it going from the outside.
And here are the numbers. Both teams shooting at or near 50%. 5 threes made by Richmond. 4 of those were made by Paul McNeil. So at a halftime, it's a 1-point lead for the 2-seed Richmond Raiders. 30-29 on Holly Springs. We'll come back. What will the action look like in the second half? Will it be Richmond playing for a state title or Holly Springs? The lead belongs to the Raiders at the break. And so we appreciate all the law enforcement for doing their part. We appreciate the administrators of Lee County High School, the host of this neutral site regional championship game. The players are doing their parts. The fans need to do theirs. And they did make the announcement that if this is continuing to spiral out of control in the stands, they will not hesitate to clear the arena and play in front of an empty gymnasium. The players do not deserve that, but that's on the table. Ready to go, third quarter. Holly Springs in the dark uniforms, down by 1 as we get underway. Micah Jones had a nice opening a half for Holly Springs. There's Cool still set up kind of in the mid-post. Crotty floats into the corner. And they look opposite. Good ball fake. Wills for 3. And the rebound to Julian Cole.
Well, that was a patient approach on the offensive end. Good ball reversal. Just didn't knock down the shot, but still good job. And nice turnover by Crotty.
Pass broken up. Crotty leads the break. There's Cool. What a leaping catch on a tough pass. A little bit behind him. Couldn't finish. At the other end, A foul will send Richmond to the free throw line. It will be Julian Cole shooting 2.
Richmond can get the ball up so quickly, looking to push the pace. Cool. Trying to get back in transition defense.
So a couple of free throws from the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. First of 2 knocked in by Julian Cole, who scored 23 in the regional semifinal win over Jordan. Read a story on Julian Cole. He did not make his 8th grade basketball team. And here he is now as a junior, transferring from Pinecrest to the Richmond program. And he's become one of their biggest playmakers on this squad as a junior. Kind of a free ball midcourt, broken up. McNeil the steal. Locates Hamilton for 3. And Cool the rebound for Holly Springs.
Strong board by Cool.
Crotty, the long down court pass. Knew he left it short, fouled his miss, and has the offensive rebound. Cool, again a kick out. Back inside Cool, big mismatch there. Cool against Hamilton for his easiest bucket of the game.
Excellent job with the reversal and then entry pass from Wills into Cool.
Richmond by 1. Rebounded the miss, and again Holly Springs can shoot for the lead here. They trailed by as many as 9. On a restart down the lane, Micah Jones, and the end one opportunity for the Holly Springs senior.
He's got magic in his game. This is such a tough shot. Breaking down the defense, hesitation, and then boom, he gets it whenever he wants. Gets the contact and the focus to finish.
First lead of the regional final for Holly Springs. Jones has 13 points to lead the Golden Hawks.
29 points against New Hanover on Tuesday night.
Here's McNeil off the handoff. And there is no shot he can't make. Everything is in his golf bag here.
How do you defend him with his height, his ability to fade away and shoot over the top?
A nice sliding bounce pass inside. Cool got mugged on the way up. And he will head to the free throw line. Looks like Chavis got him.
Another perfect pass from Jones. A heads-up play from Cool there. Rolled on the pick and roll. So here's the pick. And then that entry pass rolled with and gets the contact.
I mean, Jay, we've seen a lot of impressive things and elements about Micah Jones' game, shooting, ball handling. It's been a couple of threaded bounce passes, once in the first half early, and that one right there. His court vision is terrific.
It's the vision and then the accuracy to make that pass.
The NC 529 free throw line. Cool bangs one in. Colin Cool heading to go play for Georgia Southern, 6'8" senior for Holly Springs. 2 years ago, Holly Springs finished the year 5-9. Well, that was when Cool was a sophomore. They've won 50 games now over his and Micah Jones and Houston Wills last 2 years. Here's McNeil. He will rise and shoot over Jones, and he just can't miss.
He looks like one of the best players in the country.
He looks like one of the best players in the ACC, and he's not in the ACC.
He really might be all ACC right now.
1 point lead for Richmond. 23 points now for McNeil.
Kevin Keats wishes he was there today.
Crotty. He's made a couple in the game. Rebound tipped into the hands of McNeil. He will play it ahead. Cole steps through, scoops, and a beautiful finish by Julian Cole.
What an athlete for Cole. The 1-2 punch. The Raiders.
Richmond by 3. Whistle blown, hard to hear. So no steal for Chavis. A foul on Richmond.
How great has this game been? 36-39. Each team going back and forth. This is going to go down to the last possession. You can just feel it.
Well, for the health of Donald Pettigrew and LJ Hepp, they're hoping it doesn't go down to the final possession, but it appears destined. Micah Jones likes this matchup. Spinning, banking at home over Jaden Hamilton.
The skill set. Making a difficult shot.
Now they're running double team at McNeil all the way to midcourt to get the ball out of his hands. Open out of the corner, Cole, yes. So Julian Cole knocks down the long three-pointer, brought to you by Talk It Out NC. Crotty tries to match it. Okay. Here we go. Richmond by 1.
NBA range.
Oh, that went right off of the right hand of Hamilton. Turnover, Richmond.
Good defense from Will James. Another talented young player, 6'3" sophomore for Holly Springs.
Hamilton, who has had a tough start to this contest for Richmond, checks out. Holly Springs basketball down by 1. Micah Jones has been the Holly Springs offensive story, he and Crotty. And if they get Cool involved, look out. And this is Cool now at the high post. Brings it low, wheels it past the baseline, gets the return, there's the dunk. And he's now engaged, Holly Springs up 1.
Unselfish play, nice job from Cool. Getting the ball to the outside and then diving down to the low post.
And one-on-one move, baseline jumper miss by McNeil. That's rare in this one. Holly Springs can now extend the lead. A lob for Cool. Oh, yes! What a feed. What a handle by Cool. And the dunk on the way down to give Holly Springs a 3-point lead.
And they're feeling it now. That's the way they want to play. Up-tempo. What a pass by Micah Jones to Cool. He read it. He felt it. Look at him. He already knows what he's going to do. The vision. Lays it up. And the big man hammers it down.
Thing of beauty. Holly Springs on top. Biggest lead of the game. Hawks by 3. A little more than midway through the third quarter of this 4A regional championship game. Holly Springs enjoying its biggest lead. They have trailed most of this game by as many as 9 at one stage at the end of the opening quarter. But they have rallied back, and now Donald Pettigrew's Raiders, we'll see what kind of response that they have. It's been a lot of Paul McNeil and Julian Cole beginning to heat up for Richmond as well.
Yeah, I love the way Donald Pettigrew's team is playing defense, the hustle, going for loose balls. And over on the other side, what a job by LJ Hepp getting Cool involved here. This offense now really turning it into an extra gear for Holly Springs.
Senior Dakota Chavis at the free throw line makes the first for Richmond. I have a hunch he showered at halftime. He was so lathered up at the end of the first half.
We had the pleasure to talk to each coach this week, and such great coaches, but even better people. And so impressed by them.
First 2 points of the game for Chavis. And now full court pressure for the first time by the Raiders. Count is on and just beaten by Holly Springs. Marcus Van Veel, number 11, is on the floor for Holly Springs, one of his first rotations of the day. Cool again at the high post. It's worked on their last possession. A lot of options here. This is Jones, baseline drive. Just too quick with that first step.
Too quick, he got baseline. 2 men at the high post with Cool, but left open. And Jones knows how to use that first step to get the angle.
There's now 17 points for Jones. Cole is getting hot. And misses that 3-1. A tip in on the weak side. Goodness. Jamarian Wall. Press broken much more easily this time by Holly Springs. There's the trailer. Cool. He does have 3-point range, as does this guy. That one is missed by Crotty. Cool, the offensive rebound. And the basketball knocked out of his hands. And it will go to Richmond. Points in the paint. 24-14 advantage now for Holly Springs. Brought to you by NCDPS. Be a champion for victims. One-point lead for Holly Springs. Scholar athlete brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck. Call the heavy hitters. Patrick Keenan, Jason Halter. 2.5 minutes to go. That dribble was kicked by Cole right to his teammate. Richmond in the white uniforms down by 1, and the big man on campus is Paul McNeil, number 2 for Richmond. Driving in, nearly lost the handle, got it back, scored and drew the foul.
He has such a feel for the game. Crossover dribble, gets that angle, and it can split the defense. And he's done so much for Richmond today. Ball handling, defense. I mean, we see the scoring, but it's all the little things he does.
And that is the third foul on Crotty. Free throw good. 26 points of Richmond's 49 for McNeil. There's a strip. The takeaway by Cole, and he's fouled. So Richmond forces the turnover. And Julian Cole, who struggled in that first half, did not make a field goal, only had 1 point. He's made a couple of buckets, forced a turnover, and he has come to play in this second half for Richmond.
And they make the adjustment, come out with the full court press, trapping, and they get it right next to their bench.
And Crotty goes to the bench. That's 4 fouls on the biggest outside threat for Holly Springs in this regional final.
And he'll probably be over on the side, so probably around that 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter.
That's 2 fouls in about the last 15 seconds charge against Crotty. He has made 3 3-pointers in the game for Holly Springs. As a team, Holly Springs has made only 4 throughout the course of the game. So he sits off the inbounds pass. 3-pointer left short by Javion Drake. 2-point deficit facing the Golden Hawks. 2 minutes left, third quarter. Micah Jones harassed, lost the handle, still on the deck. Bodies diving for it and digging it out of there. Holly Springs, it's still loose. No whistle until now. Goodness.
It's amazing.
I'll tell you what, the officials are letting these guys play. There's been more fouling going on in the stands than on the floor of the game.
I mean, for each team to play with this intensity, but you don't see anything dirty out on the floor. Yeah. It may be up in the stands, but not on the floor. They're giving their all in.
Great effort, tremendous effort.
So hard.
And it will be Richmond basketball. You see those 3 Raider players trying to drive their sneakers in there because there's a little bit of moisture on the floor.
They're trying hard, but they need to.
Where are the towel kids? Who's got the chamois? It's locked in the closet.
I don't know if that did much, but it was a good effort by the guys.
I mean, can a guy get a ShamWow delivered when he needs one? For crying out loud. Inside 2 minutes for the third. Raider ball up 2. Cole knocks down a tough pass. Enters now to McNeil. Haven't seen him on this spot on the floor much. Misses the baseline jumper. Holly Springs the rebound. There's Micah Jones. Oh, and he wanted to make that pass or reel it back and call for the walk. One of the rare moments of indecisiveness by Micah Jones in the game.
Well, the Richmond defender at the last moment went out on the perimeter. And Jones thought he was going to have a wide-open 3-point shot for his teammate. And here, 1:33 left. LJ Hepp brings him over to the sideline. Get a break before the fourth quarter.
Van Field, number 11, is back on the floor for Holly Springs. Javion Drake, little room. The kick to the corner. Open 3 by Wall. Around and off. Offensive rebound, Baldwin. Muscles it home. 4-point lead for Richmond. Minute 10 left in the third.
Offensive boards are huge. Richmond did a nice job attacking the glass. Richmond fronting, Colin Cool.
Yeah, Cool's now down in the opposite block, into the corner. This is a 3 and book it. Holly Springs within 1. That's Jake Kakovic with his first 3-point make of the game. McNeil steps into a 3, lips one off. Battle for the rebound. Picked out of there by Javion Drake. Took it right away from Holly Springs. Final 30 seconds of the third. Richmond by 3. You have to think with Crotty on the bench and Jones on the bench, it's got to go through Cool. And a timeout taken by Holly Springs. So LJ Hepp wants to talk it over. 18 seconds left in the third quarter. But again, Crotty has 4 fouls. He's been on the bench the last couple of minutes. He just took Jones out about a minute ago to get him rebuilt for the fourth quarter. Cool has got to be the guy where this ball goes, and it didn't look like the offensive set was going that way.
Well, and I like this timeout here because you can set up the play. Another break for Jones. You just took out, give him more of a blow before the fourth quarter, and then you can set up trying to get the ball into Cool.
I just saw Crotty walk back into the huddle. Did he check back into the game? He may have checked back in with 4 fouls. wouldn't be a huge
Right,
risk.
he's
With
on the offensive
18
side,
seconds
yeah.
left and you have the ball. So that might be the reason why. Get another legitimate score on the floor.
And we'll see if Jones as well. I think he may be back in. Yep, Jones back in the ball game, as well as Crotty.
Yeah,
so
Crotty's
good
back in
job
there as
with
well.
the use of the substitution to protect those guys.
Another reason why, if you're Holly Springs, you have to make this the last shot of the quarter because you don't want, especially Crotty, playing defense at all before the fourth quarter begins. Richmond by 3. Where will they go? 8 seconds left. Ball fake with 5. Now Micah Jones. This is not what they drew up. He'll drive, attack, high off glass, rimming in at the horn. Count the bucket. So Jones subbed onto the floor. The play was breaking down. And a soft touch lefty layup draws Holly Springs to within 1. 8 minutes to Reynolds Coliseum. Richmond leads by 1. East Regional Final from Lee County High School in Sanford. Holly Springs, the number 5 seed. Richmond, the number 2. A 1-point game with 8 minutes to play. And Jay, it's going to be 8 minutes of breath holding for everybody in this building. Raiders have not won a state championship. They've last been to the state finals in 1997. Holly Springs has never been. The winner of this one plays for the state title at NC State next week. And nobody wants to take home the runner-up trophy in the East Regional that sits in front of that gentleman. 53-52. Richmond leads by 1. And as these final 8 minutes of regulation, we should stipulate, begin, it will be a Holly Springs basketball. Micah Jones leads the Golden Hawks with 19 points. Paul McNeil leads everybody with 26 for Richmond. And this is Jones, a lob to the rim. Oh, how did Cool get there? Leaping and stretching over a defender in front of him to lay it in and give Holly Springs the lead.
What a precise pass from Jones and Cool. It's like he was on a trampoline.
In the lane, Wall misses. Rebound squirts high to the air, right to Paul McNeil. Misses the 3. Tip won't go. Cool the rebound. And here's Micah Jones. He got hit hard by Zion Baldwin on the attack. Ball knocked out of bounds, and there was no foul call.
What a feel. And for Cool there, I mean, just flies.
Right over the back of
top.
McNeil.
Look at that. I mean, the focus up there.
Oh, and look at the stare
And the
down.
stare after.
Just had to kind of redirect that ball in. Kick to an open look in the left corner. Three-pointer is missed by Will James. Golden Hawks by 1. Baseline maneuver. There's the kick out. Open look. Yes. Fabian Wall. Second 3 he has made in this game off of the bench. And brought to you by Talk It Out NC. Start the conversation. Reduce underage drinking.
Wall's a scorer off the bench. He can light it up. Good job with the rotation. Find the open man.
There's Micah Jones. Fumbled the between the legs dribble. Now he will restart. Big attack. And the dribble knocked out of his hand. Nice by Javion Drake. Denying what was going to be a free layup. You will earn every point the rest of the way for either of these teams. Back to Holly Springs. They enter. Cool. Very deep position. Delivery was perfect.
Native pass from Kakovic. Cool sealed off his man.
Tie game. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth. Double team shadows McNeil. And this is Wall again. Uh-oh. Javarian Wall back-to-back threes to give the Raiders a 3-point lead.
He's stepping up for his team. He's feeling it.
Cool. Jumps in the corner for the tie. And the rebound to Wall of Richmond. He's becoming one of the most important players on the floor right now. Javarian Wall, number 15 in white. This is Cole, nowhere to go. Zigzagging through. Whistle before the shot attempt. It will not count. Timeout called by Donald Pettigrew. 59-56, Richmond, a 3-point lead. We are underway in the final quarter. Winner heads to the 4A state championship next week. Is it Richmond? Is it Holly Springs? Oh, the anxiety from the players to the staff to the cheerleaders to the fans. It's all here. Everybody is borderline constipated in this one, Jay. It's a 3-point lead for Richmond.
Well,
5:46 left in the fourth.
And Patrick, they want to win this one, but they know what's on the line for next week.
Yeah.
At Reynolds Coliseum for the state championship.
Now the Richmond Raiders, they've only lost 2 games this year. One came to Knoxville Catholic out of Tennessee. Their first loss of the year back in November came to Myers Park. They got beat by 41. Myers Park is in the West Regional Final today as the top seed against number 3, Northern Mecklenburg. Little floater in the lane that is missed. Offensive rebound out of the hands of Baldwin, and then we get a whistle and a tie-up. Again, the stage at which that game was played against Myers Park back in November didn't really have your full roster in place. We see some of those kind of one-sided games where it really wasn't one-sided at all, or wouldn't have been. But they would love another shot in Myers Park, but they need to get past Holly Springs. Richmond ball on the alternating possession. Defender falls. Fadeaway miss by McNeil. Another crack here for Richmond. Making Holly Springs work hard on this defensive set.
Micah Jones guarding Paul McNeil.
This is Javion Drake. Reach in on the perimeter. Foul on Holly Springs. Now Crotty for Holly Springs still on the bench with his 4 fouls. There's Will James, he's coming in. And now Crotty is actually back on the floor for Holly Springs as well. Picked up back-to-back fouls late in the third quarter. Sprint dribble Drake. And now repels back to the sideline.
The defense from Will James.
McNeil into the corner. Baldwin. Too long. Holly Springs down by 3. And look at it. It's hard not to see LJ Hepp on this sideline, marching up and down, gesturing the plays, imploring his defense.
And as James has been driving, Richmond's bringing another man over, try to get the ball out of his hands.
Rejected the screen, hand check foul, and a go on Javion Drake.
It's just a little wrinkle the Raiders are throwing to make somebody else beat you.
There's Donald Pettigrew.
How about the use of timeouts on each side? LJ Hepp and Donald Pettigrew knowing the exact time and then diagnosing and setting up a play for their team.
Yeah, just great feels for the game, feel for the possession, situation, score. Lob in for Cool. It's a tough pass to handle, and it was tipped out, though, by the Raiders. A break for Holly Springs because that entry pass was not on target. I mean, even the assistant coaches for Holly Springs look exasperated. Dangerous pass, deflected to the backcourt. McNeil wins the ball and drops it home. A critical turnover by Holly Springs.
It looked like a little bit of a shove that they didn't call. A good hustle from McNeil.
He now has 28 points. The lead is 5. We're inside 4 minutes. Micah Jones, again snaking in with the left hand, no good. Cole, the rebound for And now you feel like this is the biggest defensive possession of the game for Holly Springs. Nearly turn them over, loose on the deck, squirts to Micah Jones. They get the turnover. Jones down the lane. No whistle. Late. That's how loud it is. I didn't hear the whistle. But one was blown. And maybe the other official didn't hear it either. And there was no foul. What I didn't hear at first was correct. I think one official thought there was a whistle, but he couldn't hear it over the deafening roar. And just out of the hands of Micah Jones, and it's Raider basketball. Heard that whistle. Stays with the Raiders. Updated numbers on the NCDPS points to paint. +8 for Holly Springs, but -5 on the scoreboard. North Carolina Department of Public Safety be a champion for victims. 3:16 left. Richmond ball up 5. Quick word between Chavis and Drake. Chavis will now throw in, the senior for the Raiders. Javion Drake finds a seam down the lane, misses the layup. Rebound to Cool for Holly Springs. And he's in trouble. Count is on. And now we do get a whistle. Backcourt foul on Richmond. Second on Julian Cole.
Holly Springs needs a bucket here.
Oh, that layup of Drake finishes. Up 7 instead. 5-point game. Holly Springs ball. Under 3 minutes to play. And Micah Jones angles the dribble right to his sideline. That's because LJ Hepp wanted to call a timeout, which he does with 2:52 to go. And let's now move to our West Shore Home play of the game, brought to you by West Shore Home, Jay.
Yeah, we had some elevation here. Alley-oop, great pass from Jones. Cool finished one. Another look at it. And then here comes number 2. Skies up over the top. Another outstanding pass. Those two have played so well. They have the chemistry. And there's the stare down from Cool.
West Shore Home, convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Holly Springs ball down 5. Game clock shows 2:52 left in the fourth. And Jay, we just talked a couple of minutes ago about the value of timeouts at the right time. The really good coaches in this state, we've seen utilize those many times over the course of the year. This is as big of a timeout on this offensive possession. It's really the offensive possession of the year now for Holly Springs. You have to get points.
Huge moment for each team, and for Holly Springs, they're going to want Jones to be the catalyst, let him break down the defense, get all the way through the hoop, or dish it to the outside. And for Richmond, I think they're going to try to bring a double team, trap Jones, force someone else to beat you, but they're going to be active in the passing lanes. And for Holly Springs, this is an opportunity where pass fakes, shot fakes are going to be so important to use that aggressiveness against Richmond.
All right, so Holly Springs will throw it off of the sideline. It's in the hands of Cool. And we'll see if they bring it right back to him. Cool sets up underneath, dangerous cross-court. Jones snaps in the corner. 3 on the way, front of the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound and won by the Raiders. Offensive set never touched Cool's hands. Richmond ball up 5. And now they will show a little more patience. There's the kick out. Wide open look for Wall. He hits another. Third of the fourth quarter by Jamarion Wall. Richmond by 8. And a foul underneath on the bucket by Cool. And that will slow the momentum and the celebration for the Raiders. Down to 6. Cool shoots a big free throw.
What a shot from Wall. He stepped up in the fourth quarter. And a quick response from Holly Springs. That's exactly what they needed. And one, they needed a bucket, and now you get the free throw opportunity for Cool and the opportunity to set up the press.
At the Popeyes free throw line, love that chicken from Popeyes. Chavis in, Baldwin out. And Colin Cool with 18 points in the game. 14 have come in this second half. He is at the line for Holly Springs. We'll give credit to the fans. They've been on their better behavior since the admonishment they got coming out of halftime. And we are all grateful for that. Off the iron twice, no good. Who touched it last? It's Richmond ball. Raiders by 6. Boy, look at that calm visage for Donald Pettigrew. You know that heart is jamming inside, right? 2 minutes left in this regional final. Deflected pass, still pops to the corner for Richmond. Chavis into the corner. There's milking some clock, and Crotty is fouled out of the game. So Crotty is gone. 11 points, 3 3-pointers. All of his offensive output came in the first half. And he's going straight to the locker room, probably to take out some frustrations here. They need him on the bench, is where they need him. I know you're disappointed, and right now you're down by 6, but they need Crotty back on the bench, and here he comes. So he's back on the bench for Holly Springs, DQ with a minute 41 to go.
Now for Richmond, it's going to be a game of keep away.
6th team foul on Holly Springs. The next one sends Richmond to the free throw line. Tough pass handled by Cole. Out of the corner. Gets the roll. Is that a state-bound championship bounce? Julian Cole makes it a 9-point game. And a quick retaliation at the other end by Micah Jones. And he gets fouled as well. Minute 24 to go. It's 67-60.
Unbelievable. The three-point shot. You think maybe the game's over, and then what a response from Jones. Keep fighting.
Well, that's all you can do, right? Jones a senior, Cool a senior, Wills a senior. Free throw made. I mean, here they are trying to send Holly Springs to a place they've never been in men's basketball, a state championship game. Down by 6 with a minute 20 to go. Chavis gets through. A couple of guys reach for the basketball. No fouls. Steps through again. Passes on the baseline. There's Wall. And a travel on Jamarian Wall as he had an open lane in the baseline to the rim. Oh, Donald Pettigrew saying, come on, pass it. We don't need points is what he's saying right now. Use the clock. Holly Springs ball down 6.
And that's what Holly Springs wanted. No foul. They didn't have to use one. They get the turnover. So plenty of time.
Here's Micah Jones. He has been the man for Holly Springs, weaving through the kick out. This is a 3. No. Rebound loose. Goes out of bounds along with 2 players, and it stays with Holly Springs.
What an effort from James, 22. Wall diving for that ball.
55 seconds left. LJ Hemp. They go into the corner. Clock running. Jones, deep, 3, short. Cool couldn't get his hands on the rebound. Richmond up 6 in possession, 40 seconds away from Reynolds Coliseum. And Paul McNeil does not want to let this basketball leave his hands, does he? He gets shoved in the back and the whistles were swallowed. Clock still running, inside 30 seconds. The 3 by Wall, no. Leaping, put back in by McNeil. And that is going to be the dagger. 30 points for McNeil. Richmond by 8. And that is over the top. Clock stops. 12 seconds left. And the 22-year itch for the Richmond Raiders is about to be scratched. Because Richmond a couple of ticks away of returning to the state title game for the first time since 1997. Clock winding down. It has been 26 years since Richmond played for a state title. They will play for one next week at Reynolds Coliseum. 69-61, Richmond knocks out Holly Springs and advances Donald Pettigrew and the Richmond Raiders to the state title game. And the agony on the other side for Holly Springs. Best season in school history. Harpooned by Paul McNeil. 30 points of Richmond's 69. And the last time Richmond played for a state title, their head coach was in uniform. We'll have the celebration from Lee County. Raiders play for a state title next week when we come back. Richmond will play for the 4A state championship, and our Jay Sohnhalter's with the head coach, Donald Pettigrew.
Coach Donald Pettigrew, congratulations. Your team's going to the state championship.
Oh, man, I feel great, man. Coming back to my hometown, coaching these guys, man. My great assistant coaches, man. Great community, man. I just love it, man. I appreciate it. We happy, but we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet.
This atmosphere here today, your fan base, what did that mean to you to be in this type of environment?
Oh, it's great, amazing, man. I'm from here. That's what I mean. It's family. It's family, man. That's what it's all about right here, man. I'm so grateful, man. So grateful for my staff, the student base, everybody, man. And for you, Jay.
Appreciate it, Coach. And, Coach, throughout this ball game, you used your timeout so wisely to set up plays. Your team made big shots. They rose to the moment.
Man, they worked so hard all summer, man. You know, this summer, man, they in the gym 4 or 5 hours a day with my assistant coaches, man, getting shots up. I mean, they work. It's them, man. It's them. And I appreciate it, man.
Well, and, Coach, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Reynolds Coliseum for the 4A state championship. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to shout out to my pops. He wasn't here today, man, but I love you, Daddy.
Oh, what an emotional moment it is. Donald Pettigrew. Again, the last time the Richmond Raiders held that trophy, he was in uniform for Richmond back in 1997 when they got knocked out in the championship game by Independence. As a matter of fact, he was on back-to-back state runner-up teams. Now he is coaching this young, talented, and exuberant Richmond Raiders squad at Reynolds Coliseum next week. 69-61, Richmond knocks out Holly Springs. Well, all of us would like to take a minute and thank all the great, wonderful folks at West Shore Home who make these games possible for all of our viewers at home. We would also like to thank other great supporters for their contributions to high school hoops right here on WRDC. Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. myspot.nc.gov. NC 529. Talk It Out NC. The North Carolina Department of Public Services, Popeyes, and Tatum and Atkinson. And we would especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Lee County, our neutral side host, Richmond High, and Holly Springs High School. Join us 1 week from today for the NCHSAA Basketball State Championships, the 1 and 3A state title games at the Dean Dome, the 2 and 4 state title games at Reynolds Coliseum. For Jay Sohnhalter and our entire crew, Patrick Enos, hope you enjoyed it. How could you not? Richmond moves on to the 4A title game, 69-61 win over Holly Springs. Thanks for watching. So long.